G'day, it's Arby here, and this is my Valiant Paw 440. If you're not familiar with the car, it's a project car that we started building about a year ago. It's a 1970 Valiant Coupe, and it's fitted with basically a junkyard engine, and we decided to build the car to really test the limits of what a 5.3 iron block LS motor can do. The car's been exceptionally well received, and it's run a best of 9.1 at almost 151 mile an hour, which we did at the Street Machine Drag Challenge in October last year, where the guys from Haltech had the opportunity to put it through its paces. Since then, we took the car to the Summonats and we threw it on the dyno there, and we won awards there for performance excellence. I think it cranked out around 725 horsepower.
Hell, it probably gets 30 miles a gallon, and it'll probably run a 9 flat.
I gotta sit on my foot to drive it, but I don't mind. I'll drive it.
It's probably 100 degrees outside, but it's cool as shit in here.
Oh, is it?
Hell yeah.
So we've really decided to take the next step with the car and take on possibly the most grueling street car event in the world, which is to take the car to the States to compete in Hot Rod Drag Week. And we're not going over there to set any records. We're not going over there to take on the Lutzes and the Larsons of the world, but we're going to take the car over there and try and run 8-second passes every day on a 235 tyre and show that this junkyard special is really a tough little car. And this is where I step up and say, this is what we're going to do. So I guess in some respects, you know, you may be setting yourself up for failure, but look, I'd rather live with failure than regrets, and I want to have a go at this, and I'm going to do the best I can, and I feel I've got a great car to do it in, and I'm looking forward to doing it with friends and having a great time. We're down here at Lucky Speed Shop at the moment, getting some wonderful work done by Ryan Ford. And on Monday, we're going to send the car north. It's going to go up to the Gazzard brothers in Queensland, who really are the kings of leaf spring in Australia. They've got the fastest radial leaf spring cars in Australia. And these boys are going to wave their magic wand over it, and we're hoping to get this car into the 8s, hopefully an 880 or an 890, and they're certainly the guys to do it. Once we get our 8-second pass under the belt, it's going to get shipped with a couple of other Aussie cars to the States. But to take it even further, we're going to ship the car to California and we're going to road trip it. Let's do a 6-7 day road trip across the States. We're going to take in the highlights, do drag week, drive that thing home, and probably rack up around 7,000 kilometres over a couple of weeks. That'll certainly make me happy, and it should impress a few people. You know, when you lift the hood, it's not flash, but everything in there has been really well planned and works exceptionally well. So the engine's a 5.3, which comes out of a Silverado or an American truck. We'd heard stories of people making 1,300 horsepower with a standard engine with aftermarket head gaskets and cams. So we thought, you know, let's give it a whirl. So we just got the engine, re-gapped the top rings, put a little John's Performance cam in it, and had him supply the turbo, which is a billet wheel 80mm turbo. Aside from that, it's got valve springs and a set of head gaskets in it, but the motor's stock, standard oil pan and log style exhaust manifolds. Injection, obviously Haltech, we're running 8 2000cc injectors. Bought an eBay bar and plate intercooler core. Sumo Fab made some beautiful tanks for it, and all the aluminium pipe work, which has just been painted black. So backing up the 5.3, which is only a 320 odd cube engine, 2-speed power glide, Dominator converter, 3.5-inch tail shaft, and at the rear of the car, we've got a competition engineering sheet metal 9-inch diff, strange centre, 35 spline axles, a 3-2 gear ratio, which works well with the little 325 tyres. Sorry, that's 235 tyres. And of course, all the rear end is Gazzard brothers. We've got the split mono lease, we've got the Gazzard traction bars, no mini tubs. It's got a chromoly roll cage. Aside from that, there's a set of racing seats and the Haltech 7-inch LED data style dash. We took the car to Drag Challenge pretty much as an untested car. We'd run it on the dyno, we'd knocked out a few good figures, but to be honest, we didn't have a lot of time to test it. At the start of the week, they turned up running 9.9s, and by the end of the week, they'd gone a 9.1. So, reliable. No breakdowns, no oil leaks. In the interim, what we've done is we've had a little air conditioning, thanks to the boys down at Phillip Radiator Service in Canberra. And we've got some different seats that we're going to road trip across America in, something a little bit more comfortable. But aside from that, the car is as we basically took it to Drag Challenge. We haven't had to do much to the engine. I think we changed the oil on it for some nats, and since then it hasn't even had plugs or anything put in it. We did pull the tranny out and we just gave it a health check. It didn't need anything. And here we are looking at putting this car back in a box and sending it to America and smashing out another 7,000 Ks and obviously 5 days of drag racing. A few people have asked me why I want to do the drag week challenge, and I wanted to take War 440 there years ago, and I think the first year we rebuilt the car and to be honest just exhausted the budget to get it there, and then the second year we wanted to take it, the car was perfect. We were ready to go. We were testing at Sydney, running 860s every pass just days before the car was going to leave, and then it broke a lifter and it hurt the engine. And you know, when we didn't get War 440 there, I bought a Chevy pickup over there with a blown small block in it, which mate Brett Piltz from Wagga kindly kicked the rods out of it on the last day in Tulsa. So thanks to that one, Piltsy, you know. And you know, we did that because we'd worked so hard to get to that event, and to not have War 440 there, I said, well, look, damn it, let's just do it anyway. So then in following years, we took Steve Ryman's Capri. It's a Yates-headed Clevo-powered car that the first year we went there, we had problems getting it sorted. The converter wasn't right, and we actually missed the first year despite working on the car over there for about 3 weeks before the event. Then the following 2 years we took the car, and the car was great. It was a West End performance-built engine, and we had no issues with it at all. The things that it's taught me about Drag Week is it's a grueling event. Every day over there you're in a car driving at least 6 hours. And that's providing you don't have breakdowns, or you've got to stop and help a mate, or there's all kinds of things that can go wrong. So the days are long, the kilometres are big, the temperature's hot.
We're not going to win, but we're going to finish. That's the most important thing.
If you can get in your car and drive it 800 kilometres this morning, race it, and then turn it around and drive it 800 kilometres the next day in 38-degree heat, you've got a car you can take to Drag Week. You know, people often ask me, oh, what happened to taking your car to Drag Week? And it's more than just unfinished business. This is a perfect Drag Week car. It's got AC, it drives beautiful. If it kicks a rod out, it's $1,000 for another engine. It's fast, it's cool. I love the car. You know, I love driving it. And I think just driving this thing across America is just going to be awesome. If you can add the toughest street car event in the world, plus an epic trip visiting, going to Vegas and doing really cool stuff in your favourite set of wheels, well, that's why I'm going. I recall the first year I ever went there talking to Larry Larson, and he said, so many people come to this event and worry about what their car's going to run. Don't worry about what your car's going to run, worry about finishing. Because, you know, it doesn't matter what you're on the first day, you need to be there at the end. Drag Week is more a test of endurance for the drivers than the cars, because if you're getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning and you're going to the track and you're not getting away from the track till 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon because you've got a problem or you're stuck in the staging lanes, and then you've got to get in your car after sweating your ass off all day and drive that thing for 7 or 8 hours. You know, you're getting in 11 o'clock at night, you know, you really need to be out of that hotel motel at 7 o'clock in the morning. It's hard work. I think the thing that's really worked in our favour with making this car not only live but perform so well is it's got a fantastic engine management system on it, And I've been fortunate to be able to surround myself with very good people and get good advice on this. We've got down the back of the car an 80 litre fuel cell with 4 044 Bosch pumps that are staged, and they're triggered by boost and RPM. So the Haltech Elite ECU really runs the whole show, and that offers us a broad range of bonuses. We've got traction control, we've got 8 EGTs to manage exhaust temperature, we've got boost control. It's really, when it comes to performance and keeping an engine alive with the engine management system and certainly engine protection, it's been perfect for us. We can't complain on a little 235 tyre. We're knocking on 8s. We've only got a 1.5 in the 60 at the moment, but we're hopeful that once we get the car up to Gazzard Brothers, they can help us make the changes that we need to get this car into the gates. When we go to the States, this thing's got to have 250 kilo of fuel and tools and tyres and all kinds of stuff in the back, because if you're going to go to drag week and drag a trailer, well, the way I look at it is that's not really a true street car. For me, it's not the same rule for everyone, but I want to take a car there that can survive on its own with the tools in the boot. So the guys have got to look at the rear springs in it, possibly make some shock changes, and then we hope to test the car before the Winter Nationals. So we know the track's going to be killer, the tune-up is mint, looking at the data logger, everything is great on it, and we're not going to make any more changes or try to add any more power to it. The car will sit up there after the Winter Nationals for a couple of weeks, providing we have no problems, and it'll be shipped up, packed up in Brisbane actually, and we'll send it to Long Beach. I think the boat's about 21 days to 28 days, and then you've got to allow possibly a week or two for customs clearance. I guess it was a temptation to run on a bigger tyre. We've only been racing this car on a little 235 tyre, and the way I see it, I think it makes the performance of the car even better. The fact that it's a heavy car, it's 3,600 pound with a junky engine on a little tyre, and this is how quick it goes. So we're going to stay with the 235. I guess we don't need to really go to a bigger tyre on the car at the moment, because right now we're not turning the tyre. And this has really been one of the shortfalls, I guess, if you could say that, of the car. We haven't hit the tyre hard. We've only gone a 1.5 in the 60 foot. This thing should be in the 1.3s, and that's why the Gazzard boys are going to sort this out for us. So there may be a time where we're going to need a bigger tyre, but at the moment, with the horsepower that we've got, we can use a little tyre. It's untubbed, so we can't actually fit a bigger tyre. But until the point where we're making so much power that tyre won't hold, we're going to stick with a little 235. When we get to drag week, there's a few classes that are applicable. Unfortunately, the class that we're going to go in is probably one of those popular classes, which is going to be a small block street power adder. They don't have any classes where the limits for the class are tyre size. It's more on cubic capacity, the modifications to the vehicle, does it have a composite body, fuel, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, street class power adder small block. We'll see how we go. Whether you're building a car or taking on an epic journey like this, you can't do it without good support, and good support from Australian companies and mates, good businesses, and I consider myself very fortunate to be in the position in life now where I've got a great electrician, Brett Pilch from Custom Air and Electrical, who's wired the car. I've got Mitch Smith from Haltech, who has tuned this thing beautifully. I've got Norm Alvanos, who does the automatic transmission in it. I've got Castrol, who are supporting me enormously on this trip. Richard Wallace from Sumo Fab. Ryan Ford's done a fantastic job of decaling this car and giving the car a certain patina. There's just been so much support, and I thank all of those people who have helped me get to this point, because one thing's for sure, you can't do it on your own, and this is just the start of it. This is where it starts, and hopefully there won't be any late night phone calls ringing people asking for help, but if it does happen, at least I know I've got great people backing me up. I'm especially grateful to the guys from Paul and Scotty Cortina from Gazzard Brothers, because when you're racing really with a junkyard engine that's held together by technology on a really small tyre, you need everything going for you that you can. You really do. And this car's got a haul out of the hole, and I know that they're going to make it do it. So whatever this car runs, if it runs a 880 or a 890, I know that going into this event, there is nothing that I could do more to make this car go better. From the suspension to the tune, to everything about the car. They say, fail to prepare, prepare to fail. Well, I think we've prepared really well for this. It's a huge undertaking, to be honest, to step up and say to people, I'm going to take my car and this is what I'm going to do. You can set yourself up for failure, and there's a lot of things that can go wrong, but we head into this knowing that we've got an incredibly reliable car. It drives great, it doesn't overheat, it's good on gas. There's nothing there that we can foresee as a problem, but we don't know what's around the corner. So every aspect of our preparation, we believe, has been perfect, and if we've got problems, we'll just sort it out. It's a big journey, 7,000 k's round trip. There's a lot of things that can go wrong, but it should be a lot of fun on the way.